want to ask you about this victory that you had, because when I saw this video, and I'm so glad when I heard that you guys intervened immediately, in one way it was kind of shocking to see people who are elected officials who were sworn an oath to the Constitution, who are not young people, they're, in their 60s, 70s, who I thought would have been indoctrinated with just kind of a reflex or an instinct of free speech, just so flagrantly and explicitly violate it at a kind of temple of democracy, which is the ability of citizens to come and criticize or petition or lay bare allegations against their government officials. So let's watch the video, because I found it, on the one hand, not surprising, but on the other hand, shocking. So let's take a look at this first.
Be escorted out
You're
of here.
violating my First Amendment rights.
Talking.
I have certain inalienable rights, and they were not only trampled on, but the mayor essentially weaponized the police force to shut me up.
Ms. Massey,
To request.
I've got to interrupt. There are oral communications during the city council meeting may not be used to lodge charges or complaints against any employee of the city. This is your warning.
A warning for what?
A warning for attacking the city attorney personally. This is what you agreed to when you first speaking. This is the form.
It is unconstitutional, Mayor Hall.
Well, it's not unconstitutional.
It is.
Chief, could you have somebody come down here and escort Ms. Massey out?
Really, is that necessary? I'm expressing my first. Do not touch me. Do not put your hands on me.
Come out with me now before you get arrested.
Are you detaining me?
Yes.
Why am I being detained? Under what charges?
So there's a lot going on there. That's the fire video, but it showed it very, very faithfully. And there's so much going on there, including, while it's shocking to hear a mayor of a city specifically say you're banned from coming to public meetings and criticizing or launching allegations against elected officials, I do think it reflects this kind of erosion of the instinct of free speech, this constant normalization of censorship. But on the other hand, it was very inspiring to watch her just stand so firm and so informed about what her rights are. And she was just so offended by the idea that she would be told she can't express that. So what was, obviously I understand what what motivated your involvement, but talk about what you ended up doing and what the outcome was.
Yeah, I mean, a baseline free speech principle is that the government can't engage in viewpoint discrimination. And Rebecca, in this case, went to her city council meeting, criticized the salary of a city employee, and for that faced criminal charges and expulsion from a meeting, right? You can say nice things about city employees, but you can't criticize them, as the city council person was saying there.
I think it was the mayor. I think it was the mayor, actually.
Oh, the mayor. The mayor. It was a flagrant violation of the First Amendment. And I just got word, actually, that it seems like the city has revoked that rule, but our lawsuit is still ongoing. We jumped in and filed a lawsuit as soon as we saw this, because it was absolutely absurd. And we have represented other people across the country who have been subject to these rules restricting what can and can't be said during public comment periods of city council meetings. In East Point, Michigan, for example, there were a number of residents who were restricted from criticizing the mayor there. We filed a lawsuit, it settled, and now actually in East Point, Michigan, they have an annual First Amendment Day as part of the settlement, as a way to kind of educate and celebrate the First Amendment that was ignored when the citizens were previously trying to speak out in the forum of democracy. So,
but Nico, I want to ask you this question, not because I'm trying to make a rhetorical point, because I genuinely don't understand. I want to see what insight you have into it. Like I said, I understand that if there's a 19-year-old or 20-year-old who has been steeped in TikTok left-wing culture and arrives at a left-wing academic institution where they're hearing about the evils of free speech, or rather hate speech, and the need to have speech codes, maybe there's not a developed instinct of what America is and what we're told it is, which leads with the idea that we allow for free speech. That's so fundamental to the American identity. And I was watching that video. I just couldn't believe not only that the mayor was saying you're not allowed to criticize us, that's against the rules, but everyone on that podium who was members of city council, these are elected officials who are mature. It would have been previously unthinkable to me to hear somebody in such an explicit way impose this rule that is so antithetical, not even like a debatable or kind of like limited case, but just so core attack on what we're taught to believe. What do you think? And like I said, it's not even that it was shocking. It's kind of almost normal now. You see this mentality arising in so many places. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's hard to say, and I'm reluctant to say it was better at one time than it was at another, but I think there's just a lack of understanding of what the First Amendment is and what it protects. Like, you got to assume good motives that people actually believe that what they're doing is constitutional, even if they don't understand the Constitution. But I think we're educating a generation, and maybe the generation that's tasked with educating younger generations, because they don't understand First Amendment principles. These principles aren't being passed around. Alan Charles Coors, FIRE's co-founder, said, "A nation that does not educate in liberty will not long preserve liberty and will not even know what it's lost." And FIRE recently conducted a survey of 59,000 college students, the largest ever survey conducted of college students on free speech issues. And it found that 32% of students said that using violence to stop a campus speech is acceptable to some degree. That's up from 27% last year and 20% 2 years ago. So not only are students not learning the values of the First Amendment, we have adults that aren't teaching it. And as you see in that video with the mayor, clearly not reflecting those values or respecting them.
Thanks for watching this clip from System Update, our live show that airs every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Rumble. You can catch the full nightly shows live or view the backlog of episodes for free on our Rumble page. You can also find full episodes the morning after they air across all major podcasting platforms, including Spotify and Apple. All the information you need is linked below. We hope to see you there.